friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Mal and I'm the owner and maker of Made by Manny and Mal. In today's tutorial, we're going to be making a Valentine's themed tumbler using a template from Happy Fox Supply Company. This is a template bundle that comes with 2 separate templates, 2 decals. It's on her website. I will have it linked down below, but she sent this to me. I thought it was so cute. So we're going to take the template and kind of put our own little spin on it. Of course, you could just take this template straight, print it out on printable vinyl or water slide, or even sublimation if you wanted to, and put it on your cup that way. But I wanted to show you how you can take a template, either this template or another one of hers or any sort of template really, and kind of customize it to make it your own. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I hope that you enjoy it. If you do, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button too. I upload videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Everything I'm using is linked down below in the description box, so be sure to check that out if you want to know where I got anything that I'm using. I'll also have my social media linked down there, my Etsy shop, my website, Facebook group, Patreon group, you know, all of that good stuff. So I think that's it. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go! We're going to start off by making our custom glitter mix that we're going to use for this cup. You guys know I love to make my own custom mixes, and I've been on a huge kick with them recently. So we're going to take 4 glitters from PDB to create a really pretty soft pink glitter color. The first color we're going to take is Angel. I'm going to take 10 milliliters of that. Angel is the perfect color to add into a glitter mix. It's not super sparkly on its own, but when it's added into a mix, it's really beautiful. The next color is Whisper. I'm going to take 25 milliliters of that color. And then Baby's Breath, which is a really pretty soft baby pink, 15 milliliters of that one. And then the final color I'm going to take is Sedona. I'm going to take 10 milliliters of that. That's a chunky light pink. So we're taking pinks and whites, mixing them together to make an even lighter pink. Now you don't have to measure. If you want to just put a bunch of glitter into a cup and mix it up, you can. I like to measure so I know the exact amount of each glitter, just in case I want to make more of this mix later. So here's a few close-ups. I love it. So now I'm going to go into my computer and start working on this template. So like I said in the intro, you can take this template and just print it out as a water slide or printable vinyl and put it on your cup and be golden. It's a perfect template just on its own, but I wanted to show you how you could take the template and kind of customize it to make it your own and add your own unique style to it. So when you import the file into either Silhouette or Cricut, you can work on each item individually. So I took out that entire buffalo check portion. I just noted the height of it so I know how much space on the cup it needs to take up. And then I removed the stripes from the very bottom and very top because I don't want to add those to my cup. I just want to have them in the middle here. So I'm taking the stripes that are colored red, selecting all 4 of them, and I'm going to make them just a little bit wider. I don't want them to be too thin because then they start to stretch out and they're kind of hard to work with. So I made them just a smidgen thicker. Then I aligned them. I also made them a little bit longer than I was going to need, just in case I'm going to have epoxy on this cup, so it's going to be maybe a little bit thicker than normal, and I would rather have more than I need and cut it off than not enough. I'm going to do the same thing with those light pink stripes. I'm going to select them. I'm not going to make these any thicker. Just make sure when you take this apart, there were a whole bunch of little like cut squares that were kind of invisible, but I just selected them and got rid of them. So just make sure that you don't have anything on your canvas that you don't want to cut. Next, I took the kind of aqua colored big stripe for the middle. I made that a little bit longer than necessary also. And then I selected all of these white XOXOs, grouped them together and moved them to the top of my canvas. So I'm going to cut those in white, and then I'm going to take all of these hearts that are in between, put those next to the pink stripes. I'm not going to cut those pink, but we'll deal with that later. So now for all of these tiny little hearts, I don't want to cut every single one of these out of vinyl because it would be an absolute headache because these are so many tiny pieces. So what I'm going to do is make this portion a water slide and add it to my cup that way. So I'm going through and just selecting all of the hearts that are in one color and brightening up the color of those hearts. I'm going to use clear water slide, and I want the colors to pop a little bit, so I'm making them kind of obnoxiously bright almost. I'm really like heightening the saturation of these hearts so that when we have a clear water slide, they're going to pop just a little bit more. Now I'm taking little sections of those tinier hearts and just filling in some of the space. You obviously don't have to do that. I just wanted to have a little bit more. So I took all of those, grouped them together, set them aside, and I'm going to cut them out on my clear water slide paper. If you saw in the beginning, I got rid of the offset for this decal because I wanted mine to be just a little bit thinner. So I created my offset again, and I'm going to take the offset, release the compound path, and then I'm going to select the main offset and then go through holding shift down on my computer and keyboard, on my keyboard. And I'm going to select all of the spots that I want to be sliced out of that. And then I'm going to select everything again and hit make compound path. And that's going to take out slice out basically everything I want to cut. And then I'll be left with all of those tiny little pieces that I just deleted there. I don't want to worry about my machine trying to cut those out. So then I cut everything out in the corresponding colors on my silhouette. And now we are finally working on the actual cup. So I've got a 20-ounce skinny straight here from Craft Haven. And the first thing I'm going to do is deal with this bottom plaid portion. So the buffalo check portion in the template was about 3.2 inches high. So I just took my measuring tape and marked that off on my cup with a Sharpie. And I'm going to use this super cute pink plaid vinyl that I got from North 80. I would much rather work with a pattern vinyl than trying to cut out all of that buffalo check with vinyl or doing another water slide or anything like that. And I had this super cute vinyl that I wanted to use, so it was a no-brainer. So I'm going to tape off that half right where I made that mark with the Sharpie, trying to get it as straight as possible. And then I'm going to line my vinyl up with the top edge of that, or the bottom edge of that tape, to make sure I get it straight, cut off any excess, and now I'm going to apply this just how I would a normal vinyl wrap. I'm going to peel back about an inch of the vinyl and cut off that backing. And then I'm going to try to line up the top edge of this vinyl with the bottom edge of my tape to keep everything straight, and then adhere that small little piece of vinyl to the cup. I'm going to wrap it around to make sure that we're on the right track. The thing with plaids and stripes and things that line up is that if you get it wrong, if it's not lined up properly, you can absolutely tell. It's not like a floral or one of those busier patterns that it doesn't really matter. So just take the time, make sure that your design is straight, and then it's going to line up the best you can. So once I knew that everything was lined up properly, I removed my tape and I'm just going to smooth the vinyl onto the cup, pushing the backing away in the process. And once I get to the point where the vinyl meets up in the back, I'm going to take my craft knife very carefully and cut along one of those straight plaid lines. So it's pretty well lined up. We look pretty good. And now I'm going to finish off the bottom of the cup. I'm taking my heat gun and heating up that excess vinyl at the bottom just to make it a little bit more stretchy so that I can really pull it tightly down over or under that bottom rim and get it to lay flat down there. So now that my vinyl is all applied, I'm going to take the same piece of tape that I used earlier, and this time I'm going to place it on the vinyl, taping off that top edge, because what we're going to do next is spray paint and glitter the top portion of our cup. So I'm trying to get this edge of tape lined up perfectly with our vinyl lines. We are going to add striping and everything later, so if you don't tape it off perfectly, it's okay. Just do the best you can. So then I'm going to take a piece of saran wrap, cover up our pattern vinyl so we don't get any spray paint on there, and I'm going to take my favorite paint as of late, ooh, that rhymed, Sawdad Pink from Montana Colors, paint that top half of the cup, and then remove my saran wrap. I'm leaving the tape there, and I'm going to let this dry about 30 minutes, and then go in with my glitter glue. I'm using a 1.5 inch wide brush and just a little bit of leftover glitter glue that I had in my cup. You don't need a lot, you just need a very, very thin layer, especially because this is just one glitter, one coat, boom, boom, boom. I was gonna say bada bing, bada boom. Anyway, I'm going to take our custom glitter mix here and put it all over that top area of our cup. Look how beautiful this glitter is on that perfect light pink base. This would look really pretty on white as well. I am running low on white paint, which is why I used the light pink. So there's our glitter. I'm going to remove my tape and then let this dry a full 2 hours before I go in and seal it. I'm going to use the glitter glue to seal as always, and I'm actually going to seal my pattern vinyl on the bottom first. We're going to be doing a lot of vinyl work, so I want to make sure that my epoxy is really going to stick to that pattern vinyl. Once my glitter glue has dried, again, wait a full 2 hours, I'm going to go in with my first coat of epoxy. I've got about 20 milliliters of epoxy here, and I'm going to place it on the bottom vinyl portion first just to be safe, and then up at the top. I let that epoxy cure about 6 hours and then went in with a second coat. Second coat is about 10 to 15 milliliters. And while that is spinning, I'm going to seal my water slide. This is clear water slide paper from Kodiak brand. I just got it on Amazon. And I sealed it 3 times with matte clear spray from Rust-Oleum. I waited about 30 minutes in between each coat. And once my cup was cured, I cut off all of the edges from the water slide so that it will slide off the backing easily, and then put it into this little baking sheet or casserole dish with room temperature water and let it soak until it would kind of slide off the backing without much effort. And I'm just going to place this right at the top edge of my cup. I'm not right up at the very, very top. I left maybe about 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch up there because I don't want to have any creasing up at the top. I really want this to lay flat and not have to deal with any issues up at the top of the cup. So I'm using a silicone makeup brush to brush out any water bubbles, get this to lay flat. I want this to be smooth and even. I'm going to let this dry about 45 minutes before I go in with my first round of decals here. And I'm going to layer this middle decal before I put it on the cup. You don't have to. I just figured while I was waiting for my water slide to dry, I would get everything layered. But you can definitely do everything on the cup step by step, layer by layer. I also layered my decal with the offset. And now that my water slide is dry, I'm going to add that middle stripe section. So I've got the transfer tape on it. The backing is still on. I'm just testing to see if it's going to fit, how much excess I'm going to have, all of that. And then I'm going to wrap it around the cup and take a piece of blue painter's tape to secure one end of the vinyl. I'm kind of treating this like a vinyl wrap essentially because I really want this to be straight and look right. So once I've got my piece of tape on one end, I'm going to pull back the backing. The only thing that's different with this and a vinyl wrap is that I pulled the entire piece of backing off before I put anything on the cup. And you can see how slowly I'm going here. I'm really trying to hold my cup steady and go smooth and make sure that I get this on straight and that it's not wobbly because I don't want to have to pull it off and try again. So once I get to the end where the seam meets, I'm going to make sure I lift up my transfer tape, and then I'm just going to cut off the excess where the overlap is. I don't want to have much overlap. Our pattern kind of meets in the back, but that's okay. Then I'm going to remove the rest of the transfer tape, and here we are with our Hugs and Kisses middle stripe. Next, I'm going to add all of the little striping that goes on the top and bottom of this middle stripe here, going in first with the super thin stripes. These are the ones that were red when I added them in the template, the ones I made just a little bit thicker. I ended up cutting them out of this baby pink vinyl. I just thought it would be a little bit softer and nicer in light pink. So I placed that right up against the edge of the aqua color, and now I'm taking my champagne gold textured metallic vinyl from Tech Wrap Craft, and I'm going to place that right in the middle, right underneath the light pink. And I'm not making sure that these are like actually touching each other, like really, really lined up or butted up next to each other. I'm just trying to get them as close as possible so that it looks even and that they're spaced out the right way. Then I'm going to take my second light pink stripe and put that one right underneath the gold, and then repeat the exact same process up at the top above the aqua line. So I'm going to go light pink, champagne metallic, and then light pink again. And then I'm going to go in and add one more coat of epoxy on top of everything to seal it all in, do all of my sanding, And I'm going to show you how I deal with these kind of lumpy bottoms that you can get sometimes. I like to use this Dremel from, I think I got it on Amazon. It's like for doing nails. And I just put a little bit on there and I go to town. Make sure you're wearing a respirator or a mask because that will give you a lot of sanding dust. But once I've got my bottom fixed and flat, I'm going to wash it off with dish soap and water. And now I'm ready to go in with my main decal. I'm going to just go right in here. I took the backing off and I'm just going to eyeball this and place it where I think it's going to look right. Smooth it on and then remove my transfer tape. How cute is that? So now that we've got our decal on, the only thing left to do is finish off the bottom of the cup. I'm taking electrical tape and I'm trying to tape a perfect circle or as good of a circle as I can get. I really want to have the seamless line going from the vinyl like down curved onto the bottom of the cup. I don't want to cover that up. So I'm trying to tape off a perfect circle. I took some light pink acrylic paint and some glitter glue, mixed them together, and I'm using the same glitter that we used for the top of the cup on the bottom. I'm going to remove my tape immediately after glittering, and I'm going to let this dry a full 2 hours. After I removed the tape, I realized that my circle taping was not perfect, so I did go in with my glitter glue and freehand paint kind of another circle with this glitter glue. So I did 2 coats of glitter on the bottom of the cup just to try to get it as even as I could. Once that second coat of glitter on the bottom of the cup dried, I added 2 more coats of epoxy. The first coat after the glitter was about 15 to 20 milliliters, and this second coat ended up being, I want to say, about 15. So once this final coat cures, our cup is all done. So here is the finished result. I love that I can take this same template and kind of switch it up a little bit, customize it, and make it different every single time. So I hope that you enjoyed the video as well. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below as well. We upload new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And if you'd like to purchase this template bundle, the link is down below in the description box for you. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Okay, love you. Bye. Okay, bye.